The Baltimore Children and Youth Fund spent more than $15,000 on a crisis PR firm days after Spotlight on Maryland reported about its overhead costs.
Patrick Huff continues his investigation into how some nonprofits spend your taxpayer money.
The Baltimore Children and Youth Fund aims to boost local programs for kids. It's almost exclusively funded by taxpayer dollars guaranteed each year through the Baltimore City Charter. Now, our investigation into BCYF spending continues to raise questions from transparency experts.
We obtained the credit card expenses of BCYF President Alicia Lee from the past year through a public information request. The records mostly show expenses for travel, community events, meals, and office supplies. However, one payment stands out: $15,450 to contract Red Banyan Group for, quote, strategic communications for BCYF and grantees. Red Banyan advertises itself as, quote, a leading crisis PR company and strategic communications firm.
This is shady, to say the least.
That's David Williams, the president of the Taxpayer Protection Alliance. He said nonprofit credit cards should be used for quick expenses and never sizable consultant fees.
Credit cards should not be used for these purposes, and it raises a lot of red flags, and this is not standard operating procedure at any nonprofit in this country.
The payment to the crisis PR firm was on December 11th. About a week later, Lee hosted a meeting with BCYF employees and grantees where she, quote, addressed the media attention from Fox 45 and the Baltimore Sun. That's according to a meeting summary we obtained in a public information request. This media attention included a series of Spotlight on Maryland reports, including how BCYF paid for a trip to Alabama for 100 local activists. Former Mayor Jack Young, the architect of BCYF, criticized the Alabama trip.
It's not anything that I envisioned, nothing that I envisioned.
Our other reports detailed how BCYF spends roughly 38% of its funds on overhead, bankrolled a nonprofit tied to a troubling consulting firm, and is not required to conduct performance audits. Brian Mittendorf is a professor at Ohio State University who specializes in nonprofit accounting. He expressed concern about BCYF's credit card payment and said government spending regulations should be applied to taxpayer-funded nonprofits.
It's important that the government maintains those for its grant recipients to a degree. And so providing a grant to a nonprofit is not an avenue through which accountability is decreased. Accountability really should be going up.
A spokesman for BCYF told Spotlight on Maryland that the more than $15,000 payment to the crisis PR firm was a cost-efficient way to help its staff communicate with the community, elected leaders, and media. You can read the full statement on our website. BCYF President Alicia Lee did not respond to our question about why she used a credit card for the expense. For Spotlight on Maryland, I'm Patrick Huff.
I'm Mary Bubala. Thank you for watching. Here's another video for you to watch. Also take some time to subscribe to our YouTube channel.